Merritt are demanding answers.
To have a key witness suddenly be killed is suspicious. Was this related to the trial? There's no
Described hearing several gunshots Friday night and seeing a silver four-door sedan speeding away from the parking lot. Merritt says Brown was scared someone was after him after he was involved in a separate shooting incident in Dallas.
Did he fear for his life related to this case or anything else in general?
He had been shot less than a year ago, and someone standing near him was killed. He was reluctant to testify in this case because he had been shot at, and he thought some people might want him to do harm to him.
Lee Merritt tells me that he feared for his life. He'd actually moved out of town and was trying to get away, but came back. And during the course of this trial, of course, we find out that he was living next to Botham-Jean. He was hesitant to testify. The judge did not even swear him in on the witness stand beforehand. Everybody else was sworn in there in front of the judge, and the judge even said, "You've been sworn in before." Came in, gave his testimony. He was hesitant to testify, but he was following what possibly could have been a subpoena or a court order to come in and testify, and did his piece. And that's why Lee Merritt is saying, this is why a lot of people don't want to come forward, because if they have something else going on in their life, they want that sort of protection after they leave, and he's saying this is
the Jean family is filing a civil case against the city of Dallas for the death of their son. What can you tell us about that?
Yep. That civil case was actually filed weeks and weeks ago, but of course they're waiting. They had to wait for the outcome of the criminal trial, and so now things are getting going with that. Of course, they're suing the city of Dallas, which basically runs the Dallas Police Department. That's how you sue a police department. You sue the city of Dallas, and of course Amber-Guyger. And Lee Merritt told us that one of the witnesses they were going to call in the civil trial would have been Joshuabrown. He would have taken the stand in the civil case, but now that can't happen, Amber.
Oh my goodness, Omar, thank you so much.
Lee Merritt was pretty much on it. Like he just knew exactly that something was foul about this whole situation, because when you think about it, he said that as a key witness you're supposed to give, saying Joshua, that type of security no matter how you look at the situation, right? Then secondly, Joshua had left. Now mind you, this has been about a year ago, right? So he left since then, moved to California, and when he was in California, they made him come back. They subpoenaed Joshua to come back to Dallas to testify in this situation. Okay, so now he's back and he's testifying. And you just heard what he just said, right? He said, okay, the news anchor asked the other news member, hey, well, what about the Botham case? What's going on with that? He said, okay, right, about that. He said that, man, basically they filed for the civil trial to go through weeks and weeks and weeks ago. So mind you, they was going to subpoena Joshua to come back regardless of the situation. Joshua didn't want to do none of this, man. He wanted to just, be done with it, leave it alone, move forward, and just be done with this situation. Now,
Steve, we spoke to some of Brown's close friends. They obviously want to see his murderer behind bars. They tell us that the night of the murder, he had no plans to leave. He was going to spend the night at his apartment, and they tell us as far as they know, he had no enemies.
We talked to Josh that night. He was talking about going to the fair. That was it.
Dante Anderson never imagined his Friday night phone call with Joshuabrown would be his last.
It just seemed like surreal because we just spoke to him.
Around 10:30 p.m. Friday, police arrived at Brown's apartment complex Altera to find him in the parking lot with multiple gunshot wounds to his lower back. Just days prior,
please state your name for the record.
Joshuabrown.
The 28-year-old had served as a key prosecution witness in the Amber-Guyger murder trial, testifying to hearing gunshots at his neighbor Botham-Jean's apartment, but not Guyger's request to see John's hands.
In that trial, it did great, but at the end of the day, I ain't gonna lie. That's not what
Wonders why this had to happen.
There wasn't no enemies, there wasn't no time to make enemies. John's heart touched a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? When you lose somebody like that, you know what I'm saying, a little piece of everybody touched, you know what I'm saying, gone too.
All right, you guys ready? All right. My name is Avery Moore. I'm the Assistant Chief for the Dallas Police Department. I'm over the Criminal Investigation Unit. So first, let me thank you for coming out on such short notice. I appreciate it. City of Dallas appreciates it, as well as the Dallas Police Department. As you know, Joshuabrown was shot and killed October the 4th of 2019. He was shot and killed at 4606 Cedar Springs in Dallas, Texas, which is why we gathered here today. First, I would like to acknowledge Joshua's family. We in the Dallas Police Department grieve with you. We understand how hard it is and how much pain is related to losing a loved one. No family member should have to suffer that kind of pain. I want you to know that the Dallas Police Department is working diligently on your behalf to solve this case. It's our policy that we pursue all murder suspects. We pursue them aggressively, we pursue them thoroughly, with the hope of bringing closure to the family. As you know, I've said it before, that we value human life. We understand that there's some in the community that do not, but the Dallas Police Department does value human life. 3 suspects in the Joshuabrown murder. Jacarius Mitchell, black male, 20 years of age. Michael Mitchell, black male, 32 years of age. Thaddeus Green, black male, 22 years of age. According to suspect Jacarius Mitchell, all 3 suspects came from Alexandria, Louisiana, to purchase drugs from Joshuabrown. Thaddeus Green was the facilitator. He's the one that contacted Joshuabrown. As they drove to the offense location, Thaddeus Green gets out of the vehicle, has a conversation with Joshuabrown, which escalates into physical altercations, at which time Jacarius Mitchell gets out of the vehicle and he states that Joshuabrown orders him back into the vehicle and shoots him in the chest. As he's laying in the vehicle, he hears 2 more gunshots. He says that Thaddeus Green shot Joshuabrown 2 times. According to the autopsy report, Joshuabrown was shot 2 times in his lower body. One was a through and through, and the other entered his body just below the spine, traveled upward, damaging vital organs. Thaddeus Green also took the backpack that Joshuabrown had, as well as the gun that Joshuabrown had. Michael Mitchell was the driver. He dropped Thaddeus Green off at an unknown location, and he took Jacarius Mitchell to Promise Hospital to receive treatment. He was later transported to Parkland Hospital, where he is currently in police custody. We will execute a warrant for capital murder on him today. We also received numerous tips as it related to the killing of Mr. Brown, and in that we executed a search warrant at Mr. Brown's apartment, where we confiscated 12 pounds of marijuana, 143 grams of THC cartridges, and $4,000 in cash. We have also issued capital murder warrants for the other 2 suspects. If you know the whereabouts of these 2 suspects, please contact your local police department or the Dallas Police Department at 214-373-8477 or 214-671-3690. These suspects are to be considered dangerous because they're all shared by community leaders claiming that Mr. Brown's death was related to the amberguyger trial, and somehow the Dallas Police Department was responsible. I assure you that is simply not true. And I encourage those leaders to be mindful of their actions moving forward, because their words have jeopardized the integrity of the City of Dallas as well as the Dallas Police Department. I'm sorry? As I said, Thaddeus took the gun with him. Since he's not in custody, neither is the gun. Thank you.
You